Okay, now we're going to start the band training workout. And the first thing we're going to do is a chest workout that involves your lower body as well. A lot of these exercises are full body workouts, which is really how your body operates in everyday life. This is called functional fitness. So we're going to do a chest press and a lunge at the same time. To set this up, we're going to have you do a middle range set here where the middle hinge of the door is, using a medium weight band. For most people, this is a good start. If you find this too difficult, you can go down the band, make it a little easier, or if it's too easy, you can go up a band and make it more challenging. So Dominic, would you come over and give me a demonstration on this? Okay. So he is going to grab each of the bands. Your foot position, you start with your feet together, and then as you lunge, you come out and pretend like you're hugging the trunk of a big oak tree. Big lunge, bring your hands together, and then you're going to switch legs each time. That's good, that's 2, looks great. 3, looks good. 4, looks good. 5. And when you come to the end, I want you to really be aware of squeezing your chest together as hard as you can. That's that end range of motion, that extra mobility that we get. Looks great. 8. And he's getting down nice and low into that lunge, so he's activating his glutes and his hamstrings at the same time. All right. You got one more there. Great. Now, one of the things I find a lot of people do when they have the bands in this position is that they put them out here on the outside of the arm, which is not great for the exercise that we're trying to do, because we're trying to activate the chest, and when you have the bands up here, you're going to feel it a lot more in the shoulders. And if you have shoulder issues, that could also be a problem. So just be aware that the bands are nice and tight and close to your ribs. Our next exercise, we're going to turn around and we're going to go ahead and do a row movement. And the rowing movement we're going to do from a low position, and we're going to use a much heavier band. I find that most people can do about twice the amount of weight on a pulling exercise than they do on a pushing exercise. So Dominic, would you come over here? We're going to start with a row and alternate back and forth like this. Okay. Good for the upper back. Slight crouch in your stance. And it's just as if you were pulling a pulley. Think of yourself as pulling a pulley up, and get a nice rhythm going there. Good. And make sure you don't have much slack. Just stand back a little bit more. I don't want too much slack. Especially with these pulling exercises, you don't want to have too much slack on the band. You always want to feel that tension. Keep the muscle under constant tension. Feeling that? That looks good, looks good. Excellent, nice job, okay? And we're done with that one. Now we're gonna move back to the chest, and this time we're just gonna do a regular chest press without using a lunge. So we're just gonna focus on the chest, and similar to what we just did, we're gonna alternate, go right to left, as if you were punching back and forth like that, okay? So again, he's got the perfect position there. I want you to put your foot position on this one as a split stance, so you're going to stabilize yourself. And then I want you to keep your arms a little tighter, so you're going straight out and straight out. So this is a little different than what we did before with the hugging movement. We're going in a straight line this time. Right, that looks great. 4. And you're nice and explosive all the way out each time. And you should feel that each and every rep, feel that contraction. Good. Okay, that's great. Perfect. Back to the back, and this time we're going to add a squat to that, make it a little bit more fun and challenging. So we're getting into a nice wide stance with the feet, looking straight ahead. This is our perfect squat position. You're going to get down nice and deep, and as you come up, I want you to pull your shoulder blades together, open up your chest, and then release. All right, let's give that a try. Pull, and let's do that squat and row combination. Okay, so you're standing up nice and straight, looking straight ahead. All right, feet are nice and wide. You're going to squat down. So squat down first and then pull up. Yes, there we go. 1, that looks great. 2, I want you to keep your elbows in just a little bit tighter, and you're going to be pulling in closer to your stomach. That's good right there. That looks great. Excellent. You are looking good. 6, nice. 7, 8, 9, one more time. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. That's the key. Very good. Right, now we're going to move over to our arms, and we're going to do bis and tris. First exercise is a freestanding. We're going to grab another band, and you can use a medium or a lighter band like we're using here. The bicep curl is where you start with your hands at the side of your thighs, bring your hands up to your shoulders, and then come back down. Okay, I want you to give that a try. 2 feet over the band. And one of the interesting things about, just move over here just a little bit. One of the more interesting things about these bands is that you can really manipulate the resistance by making your foot stance wider. Just take your feet a little bit wider on there. Make sure your foot's all the way over that band too. We don't want them snapping up on you. That's really important. There we go. Okay. Now you notice as you take a wider stance how it's a little harder, right? So this is another way that you can, I love using bands because they give you that freedom to change things right on the fly like that without moving on to another band. You can just make this band even more challenging. Looks great. He's got his elbows glued to his side. He's staying nice and tight there. And all the work is just going right here in the bicep muscle. Looks good. Excellent job. Good. Okay, and just now we're going to go in the opposite direction. We're doing a push-pull workout. You know, we give the pushing, we do a pulling work with one muscle, and then we switch it up and do a push exercise. So it gives the opposing muscle a chance to take a rest, but we keep moving through the workout. So this is called an overhead tricep extension. 1 foot out in front. You want to extend your arms straight out and pause here and contract as hard as you can. Okay, give that a shot. Okay, again, here our foot stance is a split stance. I want you to pretend as if you had your elbows up on a shelf, like here. All right, now just take your arms all the way out in front and flex, just pause there for a second, come back, flex it there for a second, 2, 3, good job. And all the way out, and really feel that contraction at the end of the movement. All the way, boom, there we go, good. All the way up, boom, got it, nice. This is great for the guns. Looks good. Excellent, good job. Again, this time we're going to add a lower body component to the bicep curl. So again, pretend like your elbows are up on a shelf like this. The first thing you're going to do is squat down, nice and deep, stand up, and then pull the handles in towards the temples of your head. Squat down, stand up, and pull like that. Doing okay? Yep. This guy just keeps going. He's like the Energizer Bunny. He doesn't need a rest. It's great. Okay, so you squat down, stand up, and then pull in towards the temples of the head. Yes, there we go. Excellent job. Excellent. Now he's taking a little wider stance on here because when you're in that wide stance, it takes a lot of the pressure off your knees and shifts it over to your glutes. So if you do have issues with your knees, taking a wider stance and turning your toes out will often alleviate a lot of the pain you get in your knees. And we all have, I know with age, a lot of people have knee issues. That looks great. Feeling that? See, he's keeping his elbows up nice and high. I think we're good to go there. So back to the triceps. We can just go in the opposite direction. This is called a tricep kickback. It's kind of an old school bodybuilding exercise. It really isolates the triceps. So I'm going to have you bend at the waist so your back is flat like a table. Elbows are glued to your side, and then you're just going to take your lower arm and move it back behind you like this, and pausing at the back and get that max contraction on there. Okay. Okay, so he's nice and flat, back's flat. I want you to pull your elbows up to here, and the elbows are going to stay nice and tight, and that lower arm is just going to move back and forth. See that? That looks great. You're perfect on there. Right, perfect. Good. Mm-hmm. You feeling a little burn in there?
Yep.
Yeah, that's great. All right, we got it. Perfect, good. So we're done with the arms, and now we're gonna move on to shoulders. Our first exercise is gonna be a shoulder press with a squat. We're gonna do a little switch up here on the bands. So we're gonna have a bottom anchor on here. I'm gonna use a very light band. I like to go easy on the shoulders. You don't wanna do, because we all have fragile shoulders as we get into our 50s and 60s and older. Okay, so a little setup change there. Take the band, put it behind your shoulders like this, okay? Feet are shoulder width apart. You're gonna squat down, and then as you stand up, I want you to reach for the sky. So squat down and reach for the sky. All right, let's go for 10 reps on that. Let me move this out of the way. Okay, so you're behind there. You got your shoulder width, stand a little wider than shoulder width. Reach for the sky. It looks great. Good job. That looks perfect. Good. 3 and 4. And see, he's getting down into a nice, just his thighs are getting parallel to the ground, which is really good. Going halfway down, if you don't go all the way into a deep squat, it puts a lot of pressure on your knees. Once you get down below parallel, your glutes kick in, and that actually gives you more strength and power to get up. This is really great stuff for getting up out of a chair or for putting stuff overhead. You need to keep that that shoulder strength for, you know, lifting up into high shelves or putting stuff up in the overhead in the, you know, in the airline compartments. Now we're going to do a shoulder fly. Now we're going to take this band out of here. Another quick change. And I'm going to have you put one foot on the band, and we're going to do a fly movement. And this is like flap your arms like you were a bird out to the side, and then bring them straight out to the front like this. So I want you to just go to parallel with the shoulders. Same thing here. Don't go beyond that point. All right. So again, we use a nice light band on the shoulders. We try to be respectful of the shoulder joint because it's a very delicate joint. It tends to have a lot of problems. Most of the guys I work with I want you to put this right here. So the hands in front are like that, and then palms down to the side, right? Keep the palms down. Yep, that looks great. A lot of guys have shoulder issues. Many of us have minor tears in our rotator cuff. It's a very complicated joint, so we're always trying to be really kind to those shoulders any way possible. It's not about heavy weight. We try to go lighter and lift with more intensity and with higher reps. And you feel a little burn there? Yeah, that's good, excellent. Okay, he's got it. Good job, nice. Okay, so the last exercise we have is a core exercise, and this is called a standing crunch. So again, you're gonna take your hands on the handles like this, bring them together, and then I want you to put your hands on top of your head. Now walk forward, keep your feet about a little wider than shoulder width. Bow towards the floor, so your face is going towards the floor like that. So you're just hinging at the waist, not bending the legs. All right, let's give that a try. All right, let's see what you got there. Okay, there we go. Good. See that is going to pull you back a little bit. Yeah, this is a lot more. It's a little more challenging than it looks. But it's really super important to build up the core, especially if you have any type of lower back or upper back issues. The more you can build up the musculature around the spine, the less pain that you'll have overall. We're all managing some type of lower back pain, and having a strong core is super important. And we'll go into that a lot more in depth in the upcoming video that we have for you. So. Are you starting to feel that, Dominic? Oh yeah, okay, great job on that, good. All right, I think we're good. Okay, great job. Let's, should we give a little slap, a hand pump, okay? Bro pump, okay, good job on that. Thanks again for doing this for me, I appreciate it. And so that's our workout video, and this is thanks to Dominic, our super athletic model, and I hope you got a lot out of it. If you have any questions or anything, you can always refer to the workbook, or I'm always available for questions at my email address. So.